I accidentally found a woman who sells one file, and she sells it for $25 a copy, and she's made 8,000 sales a year. No audience, no ads, and no YouTube channel. Her shop has done over $850,000 in lifetime sales, $3,000 a month every month for the last 10 years. And the skill behind it is something working adults do at their desk every Monday morning, and they don't think it's worth selling. I went looking, and her story broke every rule I had about what sells online. Real quick, and be honest with me, when's the last time you looked at that boring file on your hard drive and thought somebody would actually pay for that? Now, I want you to hold on to that thought, because before I tell you who she is and what she sells, I want to show you the one move she makes with her product naming that once you see it, you can't unsee it. We'll get there, but first, the math. If you spent the last decade building the same file at work, the one with the formulas nobody else understands, the one your manager calls Karen's file or Jeff's file or whatever your name happens to be, the one that if you left tomorrow, the new hire would spend the next 6 weeks trying to reverse engineer and still wouldn't really understand it, you know exactly the file that I'm talking about. You open it on Monday, you click around a little bit, fix something that nobody noticed was broken, and then you close it. That file is the most valuable thing you'll make all week, and you do it without even thinking about it. If that's you, this video is for you. Because right now, while your file sits in a shared drive doing nothing for you, the woman I told you about is selling her version of it to 17,000 people. But it's not your fault you didn't know. The gurus aren't telling you this part. They're selling AI agencies and faceless YouTube channels because complexity sells better than boring. If you've been doing the math on your skill wrong, let me show you the math that actually works. So here's the math on her file. $25 times 120 sales equals $3,000 a month. That's roughly 4 sales a day on just one listing. It's not virality, it's not luck, and it's not a course about courses. It's just one file, one boring skill, and one listing she put up on a weekend over a decade ago, and she's barely touched it since. And if you've been carrying the assumption that your skill needs to be sexy to sell, needs to be tech, or needs to be AI, or needs to be something a 23-year-old on TikTok would call cool, you can stop thinking about that right now, because boring is the industry with the lowest competition. The proof is this one person with her one file and the 10 years of paying customers. Now, here's where it gets more interesting. The $3,000 a month, that's her baseline. Her shop has done well over $850,000 in lifetime sales. If you average that out across 120 months, you're looking at about $7,000 a month. But the part that really gets talked about, and the part that matters to you the most, is she hit $3,000 a month inside her first year and has cleared that number ever since. The $7,000 average is what happens when you've been doing it for years. The $3,000 is what she was already doing in year one. That's the math we're solving today. Because if you can make $3,000 a month, the rest stacks up over years for free. Now, real quick, before I show you the skill, predict it. Pause this video for 2 seconds and type one word in the comment section. What's the boring skill you think a woman could quietly sell for $3,000 a month? Just one word, and whatever comes to your mind first. I'll come back to your guesses in just a minute, and the ones I see the most will get pulled into the follow-up video next week. Now, here she is, Janet LeBlanc. Her job was being an accountant. She had 12 years of Etsy as a side seller experience before she packaged the thing other Etsy makers kept asking her about. Her product is a $25 bookkeeping spreadsheet built for one specific type of buyer, the Etsy seller who's about to file quarterly taxes and doesn't know how to track her income from one platform across the year. The proof is sitting on papersandspark.com right now. 17,000 plus customers since 2014. It's stated right on our homepage. You can take a look on another tab. And the reason why I'm making this video is what she does with the listing names. We'll get there in a minute, but first, the math. Let me let that customer count sit with you for a second. 17,000 plus people, 12 years of paying customers, and one accountant who started as an Etsy jewelry seller back in the day. She got tired of explaining the books for free to other makers, so she wrote it down once, put it up in 2014, and has been quietly compounding ever since. She's been featured on the podcast Gold City Adventures, and you can go check that out too. 17,000 people, give or take a few, have paid her real money for the bookkeeping spreadsheet she built for herself first. Now, you might be asking, what exactly is she selling? And this is where it gets interesting. She doesn't have one product. She has 3 listings on her site right now. It's the Etsy seller spreadsheet, the Shopify seller spreadsheet, and the eBay seller spreadsheet. It's actually the same skill. Bookkeeping for a small online shop, just different names because different buyers search differently. And we're going to come back to that in a couple minutes. Just hang on and wait for it. All right, so let me show you the pattern, because this is where it stops being about Janet and starts being about you. Same idea every time. Your job builds a skill, your skill becomes a file, and then that file turns into a product that you can sell. And for Janet, her main job was being an accountant, and she was an Etsy jewelry seller on the side. Her skill was the bookkeeping spreadsheet she built for her own shop, and her product is an Excel and Google Sheets template. Her price is $40 to $60 depending on the listing. Once again, the math works at $25 also. Once again, one job, one skill turns into a product, and then you price it. Now, hopefully you already see where you fit in. All right, so 3 things you can do this weekend. Step 1, and this is the part where the office worker with a real boring skill in front of them flinches the first time they hear this. Step 1 is the skill itself. Pick the boring one, not the cool one, the one you've been doing at your job for so long that you've stopped seeing it as a skill. Like I said earlier, boring is the industry with the lowest competition. The cool industries like the AI agencies and the faceless YouTube channels, those each have 10,000 sellers fighting for the same eyeball. The boring spreadsheets and checklists and standing operator procedures nobody on YouTube is bragging about, those shelves are mostly empty. And there's a reason Janet has 17,000 customers. She wasn't in a crowded market. All right, here are 4 questions that will tell you whether you've got a real boring skill, the kind that's actually a product hiding in plain sight. Question number 1, is there a thing at work where coworkers keep coming to you and not the manager? Doesn't matter how small. If 3 different people in the last year walked up to you and your desk with the same question, that's not a coincidence. That's a tiny market. Question 2, could a new hire do this thing in one day? If the answer is no, then somewhere between day 1 and now, you learned something that nobody trained you on. That's a skill. And question 3, could you write it down or screen record it between Friday night and Sunday afternoon? Just the version that gets someone else to the same answer. If yes, it's already a product, but if not, it's too big and you need to cut it down. The final question is, have you stopped seeing it as a skill because you've been doing it for so long? And this is the hardest one to answer, but it's the one that matters the most. The thing you don't even notice you're doing is the thing somebody else would pay $25 to learn. If 3 of those 4 are yeses, right now, while you're watching this, you've got the boring skill that sells. So which one are you? Type the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments, and I read every reply. The question that fits you is your starting point, and the comment also tells me which question to dig deeper in next week. And while you're thinking about your answer, all right, on to step 2. You have to put the file somewhere people can actually pay for it. The easiest place to start is Gumroad, because you own the customer's email. The whole setup takes only about 30 minutes. You simply upload the file, write the description, pick the price, and then you're done. That's where I would start if the file is already on your hard drive. Janet sells on Etsy too, but the reason is specific. Her exact buyer, the Etsy maker, is already searching on Etsy for bookkeeping help, and that's where they hang out. If your buyer is hanging out somewhere obvious the way Etsy makers do, list there as a second store on top of your Gumroad. Your own listing first, the marketplace second. If your buyer doesn't hang out anywhere obvious, just start on Gumroad and run traffic to it. But before I get to step 3 real quick, I put together a free 1-page worksheet for this video. It walks you through the 4-question test on your actual skill, plus the job to product map with blanks to fill in. It's at notes.platformproof.com. The same email actually unlocks every other's videos worksheets too. Screenshot the website or pause for a second. Now, step 3, where the buyers are actually going to come from. Step 3 is the traffic, and this is the part the gurus get wrong. Janet's primary traffic is Etsy's internal search. Real Etsy makers are sitting at their kitchen table on a Sunday night typing Etsy bookkeeping spreadsheet because they've got a tax deadline coming up and they don't know what to do. That's the buyer. That's the search. Her listing is the actual answer. Her secondary traffic source is Pinterest. Pinterest pins that link straight to her Shopify product page with titles that name the time suck out loud. Things like the spreadsheet that does your Etsy taxes for you, or stop dreading the Etsy quarterly. She's not chasing anybody on social. She's there when the buyer types in the search. And the great thing is, if you list on Gumroad, Pinterest does the same job. You make pins that name your buyer's exact problem and link them to your listing. People who are actively searching for you. Now you can be available when someone types the search term, and you don't have to chase them on social media. Now you might be wondering, when does this actually start working? And here's the honest version. Week 1 is probably 0 sales. You'll still be setting up the listing, fixing the title, and taking screenshots. The first 3 months are testing the title, the description, the keywords, and the pin design. Janet hit her first $3,000 month inside her first year. The $7,000 average is what 12 years of paying customers does. The pace is real, but it's not fast. It's slow. Then it levels off at a number you can clear every single month. and then time does the rest. Boring but consistent beats sexy and sporadic. That's the pace. So run the numbers one more time with me. $25 times 120 sales equals $3,000 a month. That's the number Janet cleared every month for 10 years. The 17,000 plus customers is the proof. The math is the same whether you are an accountant in 2014 or someone watching this video tonight with a boring skill on a hard drive. Hopefully that makes sense. And here's the one thing she does with her product naming that I told you to wait for. Janet didn't make one bookkeeping spreadsheet. She actually made 3 listings: Etsy seller spreadsheet, Shopify seller spreadsheet, and eBay seller spreadsheet. But it's the same file underneath. It's the same skill, it just has different names. And the names matter because nobody on Etsy is searching for bookkeeping spreadsheet. They're searching for Etsy bookkeeping spreadsheet. Nobody on Shopify is searching for bookkeeping. They're searching for Shopify bookkeeping. And that's really the difference. So here's what you can do this weekend. No matter what skill you sell, don't sell the skill, sell the tool your buyer is already searching for. Name your product after the thing they already use. If you've got a project management template, you don't post project management template. You post Asana status report template or Notion status report template. It's the same file underneath, it's just different searches. Now picture this. It's a Thursday night, 6 months from now. You're standing at the kitchen counter, half-eaten dinner plate next to your laptop, and you're checking your listings the way you used to refresh your fantasy football team. 4 notifications from Gumroad, 4 sales from one file you uploaded over a single weekend because somebody 3 time zones away searched the exact phrase you put in your title. The boring skill you built at work for free just paid for your kids' travel soccer for the season. Your spouse walks by, looks at the screen, she doesn't say anything yet, but you can tell she noticed. That's the night that this becomes real. Alright, stop the video for a second and notice the difference between what you knew a few minutes ago and what you know right now. You walked in with a file sitting on your hard drive, doing nothing for you. And the quiet idea that the cool industries like the AI agencies and the faceless YouTube channels had already been claimed by people younger than you and more online than you. You walk out with a $25 product blueprint, one real accountant proving the math from a homepage you can open in another tab, and the 3-name pattern Janet's been quietly running for years. And a 30-day plan you could start this weekend. You're not somebody whose skill is too boring to sell anymore. You're somebody with a $25 product, the proof, the 3-name pattern, and a plan. Janet's been doing this for 12 years. You're 30 days away from your own version of her first $1,000 month. If you watch this far, you're who I built this channel for. My goal with Platform Proof is to help 1 million working adults make their first $3,000 online with the skills they already have, the boring ones. You're now 30 days closer to being one of them. So from here, you have 2 options. Pick whichever fits you right now. Option 1, if you don't know yet which of your skills is the one to turn into a file, take the Side Hustle Finder. It's a free quiz that asks you about what you do at work and what you do for fun, and then it points at the one that's already ready to sell. You don't even need to submit a credit card. It's at finder.platformproof.com. It's the first link in the description. Option 2, if you already know what to sell and you want the blueprint plus the 7-day posting plan, it's at Offer Engine for just $17. You paste in your job skill or your most asked process at work. It walks you through naming your skill, building the blueprint, and shipping the first version. You walk out with a ready-to-sell product and a 7-day plan to post it. It's at offerengine.platformproof.com. It's the second link in the description. Now, I want you to watch this one next. It's the $20 product that makes me money every single day. It's the same math I just showed you, but it's based off of my personal experience. Now again, of the 4 questions I posed to you earlier, type the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the comments. I read every reply. Now go build the damn thing.